Assistance and Access Bill of 2018. Hello friends. I greet you today with a guest, Jeremy from The Quartering. Go ahead and say hi, Jeremy.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering.
Jeremy brought to my attention a serious possible threat to human rights that I could not ignore, so I want to thank you, Jeremy, and let's take a look. A link to the bill is available in the details. Jeremy, what is this bill?
There is a legislation that is up for vote on September 10th, 2018, so just 4 days from today, where essentially the government will put the onus on telecommunications companies to build in backdoor options for the government to get in and read your data, access your data without a warrant. If they refuse to comply, there are fines as big as $10 million, including for people whistleblowing on this.
Why should we be concerned about a bill in Australia?
In Australia right now, but it will affect the UK, the United States, and potentially everybody else out there in terms of their data and personal information security. It's in Australia, sucks for them. No, what's going to happen is they will enforce this law inside of Australia to get at your data if you're a citizen of the UK, if you're a citizen of the United States, because in Australia, they don't have a Bill of Rights. So this is important. This affects more than simply the Australian citizens. It affects anybody because the data will simply be funneled through there.
Do you really believe the government is trying to pass this bill in order to strip the world of privacy without adjudication or oversight?
And so I have a feeling that's why this is criminally underreported. If you search Google for videos on the Assistance and Access Bill, or known better as AssAccess, you'll find just a few videos on the topic, and I'm convinced it's because places like the UK and Australia prosecute for whistleblowing on some of their most abhorrent behavior. The bill would make it an offense to disclose information about government agency activities without authorization.
What are your final thoughts or concerns?
We're just exchanging more of our civil liberties in exchange for these nebulous, it's for your own good type promises from the government. I know that once these things are in place, they're almost impossible to overturn. So this is an important video. This is an important video to spread around, to make your own videos. If you want to mirror this video, go ahead. I don't care. This is a message that needs to get spread, and it needs to get talked about before September 10th when the draft gets voted on.
All right, let's take a look at the AssAccess video from Digital Rights Watch. And let's take a look at those documents too.
Hello, I'm from the Australian government. Do you have something to hide? Nah, just kidding. We're not some fascist regime. Seriously though, do you?
This question is weak, and I suspect that people who pose it are no different. What you may have to hide is according to who may disapprove of said thing. For example, you may be a proud parent, but your employer disapproves of parents. You may deem it wise to avoid sharing this information. In this example, you have something to hide, which isn't bad, but someone else may see it that way, so it's better not to let them see it.
Unfortunately, encryption makes it hard for us to spy on you these days. So just to make sure, we're introducing yet another law to expand the surveillance state. Introducing the Assistance and Access Bill, or AssAccess for short. Oh, relax. Despite how it sounds, we're not trying to access your data through your back door. We're just after the keys to your front door.
These 4 documents are the Explanatory, Industry Assistance, and law enforcement documents. The links to these files are provided in the details. For now, let's continue and we'll come back to these.
Yup, AssAccess will force tech companies to do our dirty work for us. For example, by making them insert a little secret source in their apps, which lets us access your device once you download the latest update.
The front door access will, according to item 2 of page 8 in the explanatory document, enable covert remote access directly to devices. Where is the privacy in this? This is not a new warrant that needs new qualifications. This would add on to existing warrants. So overnight, that amount of privacy is gone.
AssAccess, brought to you by Australia, where the laws of dickheads can't trump the laws of math, but they can trample human rights. Which is why, to test this shit fuckery, we chose Australia, the weakest of the Five Eyes Alliance, thanks to our lack of a Bill of Rights. So international data requests will now be funneled through us, compromising not just Aussies, but all of you fuckers too. You're welcome. We'd love to know what you think of AssAccess, so we've set up a public submission system where, for a limited time, you can protest our next step towards a fucked up dystopia. Australian government, relax, we're not after your dick pics, just the last shreds of your civil liberties. Authorised by the Department of Home Affairs.
The content on page 7 is supposed to provide the reason for the bill, but it could not resist selling terror. It's obviously not the only thing in the section, but it made me laugh. How is compliance enforced? Well, according to their documentation, a company can be fined up to 10 million something, and an individual can be fined up to $50,000 per non-compliance. See, that's only talking about the people involved at the company where the request is made. None of this goes through the person who's getting covertly remote access, which, I mean, I can see both sides of the coin. It would be, if it was my responsibility to set laws and enforce them, it would probably be really helpful to just go in and get access to things which otherwise are not easy to access. But should we? If I had the power, should I be able to just do that? I don't think so. There's too much power in these documents. There's too much power in this idea that can be abused, and it really doesn't give any sort of impression that it won't be. It really gives a impression of a tool that will easily be abused and be a nuisance and not a help. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you, Jeremy, for bringing this to my attention again, and thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit the links below. Go show your support for our freedoms, and take a look at these documents. It's really interesting. Till next time, guys, stay awesome. Awesome like me.